I will call this special session to order at 9:30 a.m. Roll call.
Councilman Cashman will not be here. Councilwoman Moore will not be here. Councilman Walker.
Here.
Mayor Pro-Tem Benoit.
Here.
Mayor Swanson.
Here. General business.
There are no public comments.
Sorry. Now, general business.
Okay, good morning, and thank you for taking time out of your morning to accommodate this meeting, where we have the opportunity to present to you a proposed resolution that would ratify the proclamation that was declared last week regarding the local emergency caused by the storm events that occurred on September 16th. The staff report is pretty much self-explanatory, and it's available for your review. If you have any questions, I am available for any comments. Thank you.
Do we have a resolution number there?
50.
Okay. Any council comments?
I'd like to make a couple. This was definitely a very eventful time in Wildomar. I know Tim was out helping a guy get a tree off his truck, or at least that was the hope until they saw the truck. I know in my neighborhood, I have a neighbor that had a tree impact her house to the point where she had to get the roof is still getting repaired, and they're still working on the yard. And so this was very impactful to a wide area of our city. I'd say it was definitely centered around the high school, and the impact there at the high school was still pretty extensive. When we went there last week, the admin building was still closed. I don't know if it's opened up yet. So this definitely had a huge impact on our community, and I'm glad we're doing this. I know it's going to have a huge fiscal impact on us, and hopefully we can get some of this money back from the state. Not that they've been too good about other money from the state lately, but I'm glad to see we're doing this. I'm glad to, I just want to make one more comment about staff. And staff did an amazing job. I know they had a training, luckily, the day before, the day of. And when they came back here, they activated that training, and I poked my head in the door a couple times to hear what was going on, and it was amazing to hear the organization, the task division, the ability for people to get handed items and not fall back into other stuff or try and get involved with other duties, and they actually just siloed what the duties they needed to silo and communicated very well what they were doing. Even when Les came in, he handed off a few items that he was working on to other people, and then they put them right back out in the field and get back out there. And then I think the only other major event that I saw was the dike breaking by the dairy, which I think is a very rare occurrence here in Southern California, when basically they just fixed it. About a 6-foot dirt berm that was holding back about 5 feet of water burst and came across Cordon and went right into the welding shop there. And that poor gentleman there, I'm sure he's still smelling the cows. So this was a very big event, and we had a lot going on, and I'm just really proud of staff and how well it was handled, and how well, just kudos again, because it was just such a good job. So thank you.
Yeah, I did see a lot of our trucks out there, and the guys were chopping up trees and moving, and it was funny because a lot of the people that were in the area were dragging trees out of the street with their own trucks. And that's what I found. I mean, it was all hands on deck. Even the people that lived there were pulling trees out of the way and moving debris and everything. It was pretty crazy, and all of them with their shovels and stuff, trying to help their neighbors keep the water from coming inside their place. And good job. You guys did an awesome job.
I too want to thank staff and the press release that followed. Well, I've never seen anything like that in the paper, offering to help the neighbors, having them contact City Hall if they needed assistance, needed things moved. I was out of town that day, and I'm getting pictures of my house. I am getting phone calls and emails from citizens, and their requests were handled very promptly between the city and Edison. They were all taken care of. I was still in 105-degree weather, no rain, so I was a little tiny bit jealous.
Well, weather comes with a downside.
Yes, I'll tell you, I couldn't believe the way this town got put back together. We were back in town 2 days later, and aside from a little bit of runoff mud looking here and there, you couldn't tell that anything had happened. So thank you. Kudos to all of staff. You were right on it, right on it. So with no further comments, do I have a
Move
motion?
approval. Resolution
Second.
50.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, 3-0.
I now will ask if the council has any comments.
I have just one comment. Last week, it was last week, I did a WRCOG event and I got to introduce a gentleman who's run for the President of the United States twice. He's a Green Party gentleman, and it was very interesting when Miss Miller stood up and said that we got to stop these councils from building stuff. And he says, yes, but if they are going to build something, they should build high-density apartments. You would have thought she would, just was going to implode. It was very interesting. So he it was interesting to see. There's someone I think was probably the leader of the Green Party movement, and Miss Miller was just not happy with him. So anyhow, I thought that was an interesting aside, but I wanted to share that so my fellow colleagues could hear that.
That's a good one.
He was fully supportive of a lot of stuff that we see going on in our city, and higher density is what he wants to see, so we can have people that want to live in a closer urban area can do that. And walkability was a big part of what he was talking about. Safe routes to schools, as well as bike lanes, all that stuff. And you would have thought Miss Miller was just tickle pink, but nope, she was very upset. So anyhow.
Any further comments from staff or council? Being none, I will adjourn the meeting. 9:36.